Hey guys, welcome back to Denizen Scripting Tutorials. This time I'm going to do something a little new. I've seen an influx of Let's Play videos show up on YouTube, so I figured I would do the Denizen version, make like a Let's Script video. And I'm just taking a suggestion someone given me, or had asked for help with a while back. And, after I finish this one, if you guys want to leave suggestions in the comments, maybe the next time I do a Let's Script, I'll make your script suggestion. You'll see how I do it, and we'll go from there. We'll see how this works. If you like it, let me know. So the suggestion I had gotten from someone the other day was to make a script for a trap chest. So basically, you put a chest down like so, and then you take a spawn egg. Nope, it's been a while. Here we go. So you say we take a creeper spawn egg, you put it in the chest, and then if that's the only thing in this chest, when I go to open it, instead the chest will explode and spawn creepers. So you could hide them in your house, or well, if you want to put creepers in your house, but you get the idea. So we're going to make that happen. So the first thing we need to do is determine the flow of logic, per se. This isn't going to be assigned to any NPC, so it's just going to be a world script. But basically, we want to listen for when the player opens a chest. When they do, we want to get the contents of the chest, check if the contents is just a spawn egg, and if it is, then we want to spawn whatever the egg consists of. And we also want to cancel the opening of the chest, because when they do this, we don't want the screen to pop up and there be the creepers everywhere. Alright, so this is going to be, we'll call it trap chest. Trap chest. And, sorry. The type is going to be a world script. We're going to have some events, and the event we're looking for is on player opens chest. And I'm going to show you how I got that event. I did a little research before starting this. If I turn on debug like this, I do Denizen debug -e, it turns on, I lied. There we go. Now it's logging all of the world events. So right now, if I open this chest, close that, and then turn it off so it doesn't spam anymore, we come to the console here, you'll see that right in here in this line, player right clicks block, player right clicks chest, player right clicks chest. Here we go, player opens chest. So when I open that chest, all of these events fired. So I could use any of these events, but I'm specifically looking for this player opens chest. So in our world script, we can use on player opens chest. So the first thing we want to do is, every time someone opens a chest, we want to get the contents of the chest, and we want to check if the contents of the chest is only one thing. That's a pretty easy baseline. So if we have to get the context here. Event player open. Oops, I spelled it right. On player open inventory, we can get the actual inventory with that. So we close IRC. If context.inventory dot, let me think, contain, actually, I think we can just get the contents. Yeah, so we go into the IRC chat and we look for inventory.list contents, and that's going to return a list of all the items in the inventory. So we go back to our script here, we do inventory.get contents. So we're getting the contents of the inventory that's been opened, which is the chest. Then we do .size. So that whole tag is going to return, it's going to get a list of the items, and then it's going to tell us how many items are in that list. And if that list equals 1, then we want to open up our if statement and start working. As soon as we know it's 1, because that's our first criteria, we want to check if that one thing is a creeper egg or a spawn egg, which I don't know exactly what the ID is for, but whatever. If we do context inventory get contents, and if that contains, then we need to open another if. Alright, let me widen this out a bit here. Our next step here is going to be actually causing the chest to explode, and removing the chest and spawning the creepers. So once we confirmed that it has 1 egg in it, we're going to, let's see, first we'll start off by getting the location of it and removing the chest. So I wonder if there's an inventory location. Inventory.location. That'd be too easy, wouldn't it? Okay, delocation of an inventory. Perfect. So we close this. We want to do, let's see, we'll do modify block, which is just changes a block. In this case, we're changing the chest. We're going to get the location of the chest. So context dot inventory dot location, and then we're going to change it to air. If we look at the modify block command, the arguments are the location and the material that we're changing it to. So that should work. Our next step after that is going to be causing a small explosion. We have explode command, so we'll do an explode with a small power. Explode power, we'll just say 3, and we need to do the location, which is the same as this. And then, so we've removed the chest, we've exploded, and now we need to spawn mobs. If we go back to IRC, we can spawn entities with targets. So we're going to spawn. Right now we're just going to spawn 1 creeper. We're going to spawn entity creeper target. It's going to be target the player. Is there any other thing we need in there? And the location. Put the location in here, the same location we had previously. So it spawns a creeper right there. Pretty straightforward. And then one of the important things here is if we look at the event that we're using, player open, there we go. We want to determine canceled, so it stops the inventory from popping up. Determine canceled. Did I spell that right? I did not. 2 L's. Alright, so determining it canceled will make it not open up the inventory. And then we also want to add little caret signs in front of all these commands, and that's going to cause them to execute instantly and not have a small delay in between each command. So let me save this. Image drag chests. And now we're going to try to debug our first script here. I need to reload scripts, and it appears there's no scripts to load. What's going on here? Okay, well there we go. So we just found a little bug, kind of a trap for some new players there. If you don't have it set to .yml, and in this case Sublime Text had set it to .yaml, which is a valid extension for a YML file, but apparently Denizen doesn't acknowledge it. So make sure you save them as .ymls instead of YAMLs. So that means that I need to reopen this. Okay, now we're back in action here. So we've managed to load it. And we're back in action. So now the chest is already primed with a creeper egg, and ideally when I open it, it's going to explode. I turned on debug so we can watch what happens, and when things are going to go wrong, which inevitably they happen on your first try, be able to figure it out. Alright, so nothing happened. Let's see what I did wrong. The event fired, and so we know that happened. And when it tried to run the if statement, the first tag failed. So let's figure out what failed here. It filled our inventory. When we try to get the contents and the size of it, it filled it with null, which means that this first tag must be wrong somehow. So let's see here. Let's go back here. If we do tag inventory.get contents, well, there we go. Maybe that's what I did. Inventory dot, where was it? List contents. Small typo there. List. So we save that file, and we go in here. Denizen reload scripts, and now getting closer. So this didn't work the way I thought it did, because when I did the size, it returned 14 for whatever reason. Let's go ahead and do a debug step in here where the first thing I want to do, this is purely just to see what this is returning. We're going to copy that. And all we're going to do is return what it is getting for the contents, so we can visualize it and see what's going on. So I right click that. Oh, we need to reload the scripts. Right click that. Okay. So you'll see here that it returned a list of a bunch of heirs and a monster egg. So we have to figure out how to compensate for that, because it's checking for heirs in the chest. Okay, so I just did a little checking. What we're going to use is this tag right here, inventory.stacks, which returns all of the item stacks in the inventory, or the number of item stacks. In this case, it returns 1, which is what we're looking for. So, just as an example, if I put down another chest here, oops, put it there, if I open that up, okay, well, getting closer. Well, as you see, it said 0 because there was nothing in the chest, which apparently is sufficient to spawn a creeper. I don't know why, but you get the idea. So let's continue to debug. Get rid of this narrate. If there's one stack and the contents of that stack. If it contains, we need monster egg here. So if it has a monster egg in there, that's what it's using. Location. I don't know why it's returning context.inventory.location is null. Well, because we are removing it first. So we're going to put that there. Because we can't get the location of it after we've removed it. So since it's all happening instantly anyway, I just want to make sure it's in the right order. So now we're checking if it contains any monster egg for the time being. And hopefully this will give us slightly better results. I'll grab this stuff over here. I gotta reload. Let's go to a spot that I haven't destroyed yet. So now this shouldn't explode. And it didn't. You'll see in the debug here that it fired the event, and then it checked if there was one stack in there. And because there wasn't one and there was 0, it acts normally. Now, if I take some dirt and put it in the chest, ideally it shouldn't explode because it's not a monster egg. Let's just see here. The first if command was true because there was one stack in there, but the second one doesn't contain a monster egg. So let's put this out and put a creeper egg in there. And this time it still thinks there's no monster egg. Okay, getting closer. Do this. Let's try just 383. If it contains 383. You know what it might be? Let's try that monster egg. Sometimes you have to use the object fetcher. Place the creeper egg in there. Try to open it again. Boom. And there a creeper spawns. Okay, so we're getting closer. I'm not sure why this creeper egg is dropping, but that's not an issue. The issue we currently have is that if we put any egg in there, in this case we'll try a zombie egg, put it in the chest, it blows up and spawns a creeper. He's having a little bit of an issue, but you get the gist of it. So we have very basic functionality that we need. Let's see if we add the data value, which is 50, to this. I don't know if that's going to work off the top of my head, but it's worth a shot. Let's put one right there. We actually need to check another spawn egg first. In this case, we'll try a skeleton egg. Drop that in there. Okay, so it's saying that that is not the right egg. Hopefully, it will acknowledge that this creeper egg is the right egg. And it doesn't. So after a little bit of debugging, we had in here .list contents .contains, which I should have noticed was wrong. We get rid of that part of this tag and just do context.inventory.contains, and we search for the item ID of the creeper egg. In this case, it's going to be 38350. Then now this will only work if you have just a creeper egg in there. So the skeleton egg, oops, I just punched it. Having a rough time here. Sorry, if I put the skeleton egg in here, I open it, nothing happens. Put a creeper egg in here, I open it, boom, a creeper pops up. So that's looking good so far. The next thing I want to do over here is add a little bit of randomness to it. In this case, we're going to take the spawn command and put it into a random command. This is a slightly lesser known technique of using the random. Let's see. Oops, I need to take this and place it up here. Except, oops, we only need to go in 2. Alright. And get rid of all that space. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be randomly doing one of these spawn commands, but what we're going to change here is we're going to increase the amount of creepers by adding more creepers to this list of entities. And 4 is probably sufficient. We don't want it to be super excessive. But you'll see now that this list here has 1 creeper, this list has 2. You know that because the list is separated by the, what's it called, a pipe, I believe, pipe character. So we save this, ideally, when I reload my script here. Place a chest down, place a creeper egg in the chest, and if everything goes as planned, we should get potentially more than 1 creeper. Yep, there's 3 of them. So now we need to account for the fact that the egg is dropping out of the chest. That's a small little bug. My guess is that has to do with changing it to air. And I think if we use the inventory command, we can clear the inventory before we drop the before we remove the chest. So, get rid of that. Inventory, clear, and the inventory that we're trying to clear. So that's simple enough. So before we drop it, we're going to take inventory, clear, destination, context.inventory. Let's see if that's simple enough to handle this. We need to reload. I need to grab a bunch of spawn eggs for testing. Drop 1 in there. And ideally, when we click this, it will no longer drop the egg. And you'll see the egg has disappeared. So, that is a complete creeper trap chest. For the sake of this video not getting absurdly long, I'm going to stop here. And the next Let's script will modify it just a little bit more so that it'll work with any spawn egg, or, well, actually, you should be able to handle it from here. All you need to do is basically replicate this if command over and over again and add the spawn eggs you want to allow. So, never mind. Simple enough. This is just a practical example of a Denizen script that makes something kind of fun on the server. And just let me know if you like this. I'm hoping that when I edit this it won't be too long. And, well, have a good one, guys.